on the BigVitoBrand.com. And I am Virtue, being joined by the man himself, former WCW Hardcore Champion, Tag Team Champion, the man who worked in all the promotions, Big Vito LaGrasso. What's up, man?
It's the BIGV from the LOG. I hope everybody's doing fine out there. We're live, baby, live. Hey, we're doing something new here. We're doing something where we're going to do Twitch. We're going to have some feedback from our fans. I mean, it's pretty exciting. We're trying a new setup tonight. So, guys, look for our advertisements coming up, and we're going to be able to have you join us. I know you guys probably would enjoy it. Since Adam Rift from No DQ won't let us on, and he won't book me, and he puts little cats in nature on his thing because he's in love with his girlfriend. Everybody knows about it. It's sickening. I puke every morning. And then he tags me in it to antagonize me.
Yeah, but we always get the best of him. And by the way, we still are open to go over to that channel. I just don't know why he's dragging his feet. He's like, well, he wants to make this grand, elaborate plan down the road. So that's why he's blowing us off now, because he wants to use us when he needs ratings. I think he needs them now, by the way.
I think he needs them now because he ain't got nobody listening to the show.
Well, I'm trying to keep some of them. I mean, we don't have what we used to have, but I'm trying to keep what we have. Trust me, as wrestling fails, it's harder and harder on No DQ. But nonetheless, are you ready to do our topics today, Vito?
I am ready. I have been ready. I've been thinking about things. Everything is good. By the way, how was your day today? Because I had a long day. I had a little friend of mine sleep over. She's 2. Yeah, she's 2. She's still my best friends. And about 6 a.m. she had a little accident. So she comes crying and she comes calling my name. I settle her down. It's 6 o'clock. So then, being the big man I am, I settle her down. I go to the gym. I go to the pool. I take some sun. I come back. I do my thing in the house. I clean. I do what I got to do. Watched a little football. I gave blood today.
Nice.
Gave blood. Did the COVID test. That's my 8th test.
I've only had one 2 months ago when I went to the ER.
No, I feel you, man. And went to do a little grocery shopping. Watched some football. Tom Brady. Let's talk about football. For Tom Brady demolished the Raiders. I don't know what was it. And you notice, like I said in week 1, they used Gronkowski like he wasn't there because they didn't want to impose his will, but he's clicking.
And this is what's interesting. If they do get Antonio Brown, their receivers get banged up a lot. Godwin's been banged up. Evans has been banged up. But what they can do now is, if some of them are banged up, they can give some of those guys a week off, or have them play and just be a decoy or not take many snaps, because they're going to have all this extra talent. Good for Tom Brady, because Patriots and Bill Belichick, Cam Newton, they're only 2-4.
Let me tell you something. I think Cam, with all the hype and all the stuff they got going on, Cam is not what he says he is, and Belichick definitely needed Brady, but he only has Edelman there. He doesn't have Gronkowski. He doesn't have any of the good wide receivers. The game plan has changed. I don't even think the Patriots will make the playoffs this year.
I don't either. And here, how about this? The Cleveland Browns. Beckham left injured. Odell Beckham. And all of a sudden, Baker Mayfield lit it up. And he was very good his rookie season. I know a lot of people say it was before the league scouted him.
Right.
But he didn't have one OBJ then. No. I'm thinking without OBJ, there's less pressure. He can get the ball around the field. There's no complaining. I don't know. Is this a pattern?
Cancer spot number 2. I want to know something. I'd like to see, Odell Beckham Jr. go to the Patriots. He could be a superstar over there. Cam Newton has nobody to throw to. Now, the real twist of this all is Odell Beckham Jr. went to the Buccaneers.
Oh my God! I don't think they get him and Brown. Dude, that would be nuts. But the Browns will probably just sit on him for now. But I don't know. That's just crazy. That was pretty much it in football. I mean, unless you had something else. I mean, the Jets stink.
The Jets again got demolished. They changed the signal calls, but I don't think it's the signal calls, guys. I think it's the coaching. I think it's the players. And I think if they don't fire this Adam Gase and the general manager, get them out. They'd stay. I want to see Rex Ryan and his brother come in and run the team. I mean, I'm sorry. Really want to see that happen.
How about the NFC East? The leaders of the NFC East are the Eagles at 2-4-1.
That is disgusting. And Dallas got blown out to smithereens again.
Dalton concussed.
Do you think it's time for Mike McCarthy to get fired?
They just hired him, but they're not. They'll fire the defensive coordinator first. They're not going to fire McCarthy this soon. They'll let him fail this year, and then they'll see how it starts up next year.
They're going to give up a year
because Dak got hurt. They have built-in excuses now.
Yeah, but they didn't win last year.
No, well, I know, but I think they'll wait just because he's a bigger name coach, and I don't know. I mean, I would be shocked if they fired him.
I don't know, guys.
How about this? Baseball, the Rays and Dodgers 2-2. Now, Kershaw got a good win. He's had playoff and World Series demons, and I think he goes again, game 5, game 5 or 6. But it's 2-2, and last night the Dodgers blew one on a weird ending. Did you see that?
I did. It was terrible. I couldn't believe it. But, it was a good game, and I thought the Dodgers had it in hand, and I thought the Rays pitcher, the starting pitcher, they took him out too early. Because he had like 9 or 10 strikeouts. And
it's like they do that to preserve him for if there is a game 7. I don't believe in that. You got to let him go. You got to keep him going, man. Remember back, like before my time, pitchers would pitch 150 pitches, complete games, but like the old school guys like Sandy Koufax and.
I get you, man. It's just not the same no more. But the Yankees, the Yankees are talking. What are they going to do? Cut payroll, go after this, go after that. Talk is they want to get Didi Gregorius back to play shortstop. They should have never let him go. They should have paid him, right? But if I was him, I wouldn't go to him. I'd go to the Mets just for spite. They got the Lindor trade talks. JT Realmuto is looking for $200 million. The Mets want to get. The Mets are like they got the sticks. Then their pitching staff is up in the air, but the Yankee pitching staff is worse. You guys in Cleveland actually do have a great pitching staff, but you're looking to cut costs. And like, if you're going to keep people on, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Lindor's going to get. I mean, he's going to a big market team. We know that.
It's either the Mets or Yankees, one or the other.
I just kind of wait it out, and hopefully they get something for him and trade him before it happens. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I think the Dodgers. I think this will be Kershaw's World Series. He's going to dominate another outing. I think Dodgers squeak by in this World Series and get a title, and Kershaw finally breaks his playoff demons. That's what I think. We'll have to see, though.
I think Kershaw do something spectacular and come back to be the Game 7 starter, or come in early, or maybe be the cleanup guy and maybe be the relief pitcher to close it out.
That would be something. And it's, again, just like the NBA Finals, it's a low-rated World Series. So
it is.
It's just crazy.
Now, let's talk a little basketball.
Yeah.
Your Cleveland Cavaliers.
My Cleveland. Come on. You know I'm a Knicks fan at heart.
I know, but okay, we're just talking for where you live. Cleveland Cavaliers. They're talking about trading Kevin Love. Talking about sending him to San Antonio for Aldridge. What do you think about that trade?
Interesting that they wouldn't go younger. Aldridge has been around the block for a little bit, and he's got some wear and tear on him. But I don't know. I mean, Kevin Love's just a shooter. Aldridge, I didn't think Aldridge was a big defender either. He's kind of a perimeter guy too.
I think the mistake the Cleveland Cavaliers are making is they got those two guards, because Virtue and I did go to a Cavaliers game when I was in town.
Yep.
And the one thing we noticed is that the two guards there were very good, but they were playing their own game. They weren't playing as a team.
Yeah.
And I think they need to trade off one of those great guards you guys got. Now, the NBA draft is upon us. Guys, There's no dominant number 1 pick. Virtue, who do you think goes number 1?
I have no clue, because because of the pandemic, I have not kept up with college basketball because we didn't even have the tournament this year. So that I do not know. I mean, normally you have a Zion or a guy like that you just can say. I haven't watched college basketball or studied it enough to even tell you.
Would the Warrior? I'll go with this. Would the Warriors take LaMelo Ball with the number 2 pick to play point guard?
I mean, he's going to be in the top 10,
He's going
but
to be in the top 10.
But I don't. He's probably the best of all, amongst all his brothers. So he has a more legit shot.
If you
What did LaMelo go? What pick did he go?
LaMelo went number 2 to the Lakers.
Okay, was it number 2? So yeah, I could see his brother going 2.
Yeah, but he's going to the Warriors, and you got Steph Curry, you got Klay Thompson, you got the other kid,
insurance. Build him up.
D'Angelo Russell. You got D'Angelo.
That's
Russell.
a trade piece, though. Like Russell's a guy if you needed to trade him, or just have it on the bench, because in the NBA you need a good bench, right? And then this way you don't throw the rookie right out there. You have him develop behind all-time greats in Thompson and Curry.
I can't see him. I can't see that Minnesota taking him because they have no defense. But I could see LaMelo Ball going not to Minnesota, not to the Warriors. I think he falls between 3 and 6.
That sounds good. I mean, I was giving him some hype going too, but yeah, he'll land top 10. But yeah, they're another ball in the NBA.
Yeah, I like to see him play for the Knicks. I think that he would do greater than on the Knicks.
Well, so many years from now, we'll be talking about Bron. So.
And how? Oh, one last thing, basketball. Did you see Shaq?
What did he do recently?
No, he got on Dwight Howard because Dwight Howard has been carrying on Instagram and Twitter how he's a champion. And Shaq told him, "Sit down. You a role player."
Oh yeah, and well, yeah, Shaq dominated all his title wins. But
the guys who won titles this year were first-time champions. They weren't doing all this chirping, but they forget that they rode on LeBron's jacket.
Now, Rondo had a title with Boston, and Rondo played like I think he could brag. He had the right to brag as a role player, in my opinion. That maybe was the only one.
But he's modest and he's very quiet. He's a baller.
Yeah.
And sad to say, if he had to go somewhere, would he do good on the Knicks being their point guard?
Why not? I mean, I want to see the Knicks get back to the playoffs. We all want a championship. I want consistent year-to-year playoff berths. That's what I want. So that's what we got. And that would not, why not? I would agree with that, Vito.
All right. We had our sports talk.
And all right. Well, we're going to
wrestling. We have a lot of wrestling to talk about. Virtue, why don't you kick it off for us? I know you got some good topics.
Well, Nia Jax is still on her rampage. Your baby, your boo. For the 5th time, she put Lana through a table. Lana got her title match against Asuka, and the first 2 minutes of the match, I was like, wow, they're making Lana look, and it was all Asuka making Lana look good. And then it was over just like that. And then boom, out comes Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax and through the table for the 5th time. Now, we talked about it being an ongoing rip because of Miro, and I know that's why they're doing this. Now there's little birdies chirping within the WWE bubble. Oh, we're trying to build Lana up now to get sympathy as a top baby face. Okay, well, if that's the case, you jobbed her out fairly quickly to Asuka. I'm not buying it. That's just their way of convincing the people that are calling out this rib on her that, oh, it's okay, we have a plan so they can continue to do it and maybe find other ways to make her get, look like crap other than a table. Any substance to this? I mean, I think even some of this came through a source through Vince McMahon's mouth. We're trying to get Lana over. Come on.
Guys, I've seen it all in wrestling. I've been through it all in wrestling. And if they were gonna build Lana as a babyface, the Asuka match would have ended in a DQ with Lana getting her ass kicked on the outside and put through a table on the outside of the ring and not being beat 1, 2, 3 in the middle. My opinion.
Yeah.
Wrestling 101 psychology to keep a building. But I just think that, the longer this goes on, she might slip and she might actually get hurt. So what do you do then?
Well, what I've noticed on all these table spots is luckily Nia Jax, most of her bulk is the one that's breaking the table on the Samoan drop. But still, though, just the principle of what we've witnessed.
as much as we don't like Nia Jack, we don't want to see nobody get hurt.
She's
If you do
protecting
it,
Lana, I
yeah.
think.
If you do it once, okay. Do it twice. Doing it 5 times now, you're doing overkill.
Yeah.
Hey, if it's a pay per view and we're gonna go take a dive through a table, what's next? If we could set up a ramp and have Nia Jack do a splash through the table, now you're talking.
Yeah, something different too. But yeah, if they're gonna push Lana, let's like see it. Like don't just do these type of things like they're doing with her going through a table. Give it some storyline substance. But WWE is a crazy place right now, because we know they've done tapings at the Performance Center, at
Right.
Full Sail University, and at the Amway. Is it the Amway Center in Orlando?
Yes.
And they are being investigated amongst other businesses in the Orlando area by the county, maybe the city, about COVID hotspots and unsafe work environments. And we've kind of talked about this over and over again because there's been a lot of people that have mysteriously been off TV. And so
Right.
they're obviously getting positive tests. So, with that said, what do you think of this investigation? Are they going to get pegged off? Are they going to get put in the news in a report, closed down, shut down? Or are they going to get through it again like Vince McMahon tends to do and maybe pay off? What do you think here?
I see. I see a nice little payoff coming, so everybody calms down, especially with the election coming through, and being friends of friends. When you have friends in high places, I think you'll squeak through. Unless there's a turn of events and someone loses the election, I don't think it's going to go through. And I think that if there's someone loses the election, a lot of things are going to change. There was talk and rumors as Vince McMahon actually selling and getting out of the WWE. So, what do you think about that? I mean, on top of all these allegations and people coming after him and lawsuit after lawsuit, and everybody having a thing, maybe it's time just to pack your bags and go home and just do something else. Maybe The Rock can give you a job at the XFL selling hot dogs.
Oh, that's so funny. I mean, if WWE ever sold, it'd be to a monster conglomerate like Disney so they can get all the content for their streaming networks. But I just think Vince McMahon, there may always be those rumors, but he's never going to let that go, I don't think. I mean, now if he passed away and then maybe it went to Stephanie or whatever and Shane, maybe they could, because Shane can do well outside of WWE and Stephanie's cashed out all her stocks and bonds. And I don't know. That's just what I think.
No, I hear you. It's a sad thing to see. Like you want to see wrestling, you want to see good things. The WWE is capable of doing great things for a lot of people. They
Yeah.
don't. They are capable of having a great product. They're close minded. They can do a lot of good for the community, a lot of good things, and partake in some things that would help people and follow the rules and take care of their own. They don't do it. So what do you say?
Well, we're going to segue over to AEW here because I just looked down at this name and this bothers me. I'm starting to see a lot of injuries in AEW, maybe even more. I mean, NXT too. Notice most of the injuries in WWE are in NXT and that style of wrestling, not the main roster. The
Reckless.
injuries now in AEW. I know Phoenix got injured, and so they actually had to forfeit him from the match against his brother Pentagon, who now moved in that tournament. But oddly enough, the big one is Alex Reynolds, and I believe he's part of the Dark Order. He was in the main event multiple tag person match on Wednesday night.
Yep.
He got knocked out in the middle of the ring. They continued to work around him. The guy, his tag team partner, drug his lifeless, limp body to the corner just to tag himself in. Where's the X sign? Where's the referee? Where's the getting this guy out of the ring? The Bucks, everybody had to still get in their spots. Live TV, Vito, what is your thoughts on this? It was ugly.
I think it was the most disgusting, horrible thing I have seen in wrestling in a long time. How do you assholes go with a guy who is knocked out and still step over and do your spots? You should all be ashamed of yourselves, you mark son of a bitches. You're all a bunch of fucking marks. You're supposed to take care of each other in there, but you do the spots with the guy knocked out. Are you that much of a fucking glory hound? You're all a bunch of fucking whoas getting paid. You all fucking suck. You're standing there watching each other, diving on each other to get a fucking spot in. But you'll kill somebody and don't give a shit so you could fucking be fucking glory hounds on Wednesday night. Go fuck yourself, AEW, because your protocol and you're taking care of people and you're looking after the guys and health insurance and paying the girls and featuring the girls and you're all a bunch of fucking full of shit. I really don't care. Everybody there is getting a fucking paycheck. They're kissing Tony Khan's ass, and he is the fucking most giant mark. I might not like Vince McMahon for a lot of reasons, but Tony Khan, you should have jumped out there and fucking stopped it yourself to have a pair of balls instead of waiting for them to fucking do it. Just like you did with Jeff Hardy. Oh, is Jeff Hardy okay? Oh, he says he's okay, guys. Now
that was Matt. That was Matt.
That was Matt.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys get my point. And I hope all you fucking dirt riders go and fucking print it, because I really don't give a shit. But they talk about being reckless with the boys, with the guys who work in the office, in the match, continuing to wrestle while somebody is unconscious. I want you people to tell me it's okay.
And it's not. I mean, I cannot believe they didn't go home or get that guy out of the ring. And it's just to see spots happen after that. And it's not like maybe they didn't see it or didn't know. First of all, if he did a spot normally and didn't get hurt, he would have rolled out. That's why they always roll out of the middle. When the guy's not rolling out of the middle and you look down at him immediately, the referee, they're supposed to be trained.
Never, ever ref another match again. You suck. You have no fucking balls. You fucking put the X sign up and you stop the match. Why? Because you're in AEW and you want to ref and you want to be part of the crew and you want to go, hey, brother, how you doing, brother? Everything okay, brother? Go fuck yourself, referee. You're a piece of shit for not stopping the match. You could have killed that guy. Then what?
Yeah, absolutely unacceptable, Vito. And, AEW, so I'm on Twitter. This was before that happened. And I'm watching this musical between Jericho and MJF. Now, from a perspective of a Saturday Night Live skit or something like the Carol Burnett show, I get it. This was funny and entertaining. But here was and everybody's putting it over as this best thing ever. And I want to hear your take on this because I'm venting. Robbie Weiss and I talked about this week. What makes me upset is these two guys are like your top two heels in the company, and now they're singing musical acts in the back, and I just don't know how that does any good for either of them, especially MJF. Now, again, from an entertainment standpoint, if it wasn't a wrestling show, if this was a variety show, I get it. I love backstage stuff. I love outside of the arena stuff, but when you're compromising the characters like the MJF gimmick, I just don't get it, and I wish it was more serious. Now, maybe I'm completely wrong on this because Jericho's putting everything he does over on Twitter, which, again, I've had a problem with that lately because that's so out of character, unless Jericho is doing that on purpose so he can get those AEW marks to love him. I get it. Then he's being a businessman. What is your take on the musical between Jericho and MJF? And I think they had some raw steak as well.
All right. Here's my take on it, guys.
I'm interested in this.
Guys, for months, I got on Nia Jax for not being a convincing heel. For months. Playing around, TikTok, smiling, laughing, dancing, doing all this stuff, and they were trying to push her as a monster heel. Here you have this kid, MJF, who, if it was 10 or 15 or 20 years ago, would be the water boy, but he's not big. He's probably a nice kid. I got nothing against him. He does a good job, Everybody in there is the same size, nothing bigger than 225, except for a lot of the guys in there. He's not that big. Could you picture him in the ring with a Goldberg or Chronic or Mr. Perfect or Bret Hart or Legion of Doom or Demolition? No, you can't. Okay, that's for starters. Now, he's portraying himself as a big monster, kick-ass, I don't give a shit, kiss my ring heel. What are you doing TikToking on live TV, singing and dancing and smiling and being a goof? You just killed your whole character. You should not be doing that. You should be this same character that you built up, that you held a finger up to a small child, which I wasn't a fan of, but you did it anyway. But you kept in character. But was
Yep.
this in character? Are you going now to do acting? Are you the new Rock? Are you going to be Batista?
I
Are you
didn't
going to
even
be?
see The Rock do that with his
No.
program with Foley, though. Rock was comical, but he was serious at the end of every promo.
Yes. This had goof written all over it. Did you ever think that Chris Jericho, who is a mastermind, who is probably a legend, he is a legend,
Yeah.
right? Probably one of the best worker manipulators, understanders of the business and how it works.
Yeah.
Did you think he made him do this so he can go into business for himself, so he can be the number one heel because ratings are down, brother? I think I got
That
it.
is a great take. And that completely, so you always enlighten me with the business stuff, Vito. That
This
one
is the
slipped
truth.
my mind because he had a hell of a run doing those few matches in New Japan where he came over as the Westerner and he was a badass heel over there and it worked.
Exactly.
And he got, New Japan World apps increased. They had to put more seats in the Tokyo Dome. And then he started off seriously in AEW and then lost the title to Moxley and then did all this comical mid-card stuff. Maybe this is his way of, like you said, that's a great point, Vito.
He is the master manipulator. He's got a game plan. He's not stupid. And for MJF to go and do this, oh my God, I'm going to be in a spot with Jericho. Can you believe this? Mom, get the VCR out. We're going to tape this. Guys, you just learned Wrestling 101. Don't be a sucker, guys. There's always somebody looking for your spot. When somebody else sees you getting some steam, they always look to take you down a few notches. I even heard Jim Cornette buried it, and I'm not a Jim Cornette fan, but I was like, he's absolutely right. You don't do this.
But then so many people Wednesday night, and some people in the business, like Tommy Dreamer and Mick Foley, and I know you'll have something to say about that, were putting it over. But I'm like, okay, from a Carol Burnett show standpoint, it was okay. But for the characters that were being portrayed, like especially MJF, who you should be taking seriously, it's not. I'm not buying it. And apparently, you're not. Jim Cornette's not. Why are some of these people in the business? Are they the ones looking for jobs? Maybe?
Guys. Tommy Dreamer, Mick Foley, right?
Yeah.
Now, everybody, what's the name of his name? Matt Ryan, the guy who does the dick flip.
Oh, Joey Ryan.
Joey Ryan, okay. Everybody was in moored with Joey Ryan and doing the dick flip, right? Everybody was like, yeah, brother, I got to do the dick flip. Cactus Jack did it. I was appalled. I couldn't believe it. A veteran like that doing a dick flip, taking a fucking bump on a dick. I don't know if Tommy Dreamer did it. I'm pretty sure he did, right? And I got nothing against these guys.
I think they both did, yeah.
Yeah, but these guys are so in the business. Yeah, I'm going to put it over, brother. Yeah, hey, remember, when you have that pay-per-view and you need some guys for the Casino Battle Royal, book me, brother. It's a payday.
Yeah.
You want to be non-confrontational. Everybody will hire you. Yeah, Tommy's putting our stuff over. Yeah, Cactus Jack is putting our stuff over. Would it be so much for you to fucking bury shit if you really, really meant it? And I know both of them know better, and I'm not getting on them by no means, But come on, guys. Everything can't be rosy in the wrestling business. You got to shit on some stuff. I'm the first one, and both of them know me. I said, if it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
If it's the shits and it sucks and you're going to be a jock-sniffing son of a bitch, then that's what it is.
And I've been a big Chris Jericho fan for over 20 years. So the fact that it took all this time for me to start criticizing some of the stuff he's doing, because I know it just doesn't seem right. Like, he's done comedy stuff, but he's supposed to be this top guy in AEW, and it's not. It's mediocre, right? It's not what I'm expecting from Chris Jericho. So I'm going to call it out, and I'm one of his biggest fans. Just trying to let a spade be a spade here.
Guys, everybody's a worker in this wrestling business if you allow yourself to be worked. Okay. Chris Jericho is a mastermind. He will come up with another monster run as a heel, destroy everybody, win the title, and retire. You heard it here first.
Well, if it comes off of this, and he did do this with MJF to bolster back up ahead of him, Vito, and he does get back in the title picture again within the next year, because he's got another year and a half on his contract, then guess what? I'll be over here doing this till your call on
everything.
that, so.
Everything I've said on Getting Cullen, everything I've said on these shows has happened.
Yep.
Guys, and I'm not making it up. They say you must have an insider, you must have the this is just wrestling 101 psychology, guys. This is why I sit home. They don't like the guys who are too smart. They don't like guys who are in the know. They don't like guys who are not yes guys. They want guys who are going to be there and be sheep. I'm not a sheep. If your friggin' angle sucks, I'm going to say, listen, you know better than this. Go back to Wrestling 101 because that's what we lost here. That's what's not happening. This sucks.
Yeah.
Jericho, if you do, I mean, I see it. And I hope you do become the number one heel again, because when you're the number one heel, people watch. Right now, the ratings for AEW and NXT, they're getting a normal 800,000 for AEW. No higher than 1 million, no more than 900,000. You're 800,000. The NXT boys, they're getting anywhere from 675 to 750. That's their thing.
It's about 1.5 million added up, and I don't even know if that some of those people are overlap. I'm sure when they flip back and forth.
So you're getting the same people. The demographic, of course, is going to go to AEW, but the AEW boys, they're all standing there waiting for spots, doing it. And guys, I got to tell you, Cody Rhodes and all the Office and Tony Khan, how could you let that go on when before you opened that company, you said, we are taking concussions very seriously. We are going to be better than the WWE. We have protocols. We have things in place. You guys had shit. That guy could have died in your ring, and nobody gave a shit because they all wanted to get their spots over. And every one of those guys in the ring was a fucking mark, because if one of them had a pair of balls just to cover him and just end the match or hit the referee, get disqualified or do something, or get in the ref's face. If Chris Jericho was in there when he was in there with Pac when they were in WWE, and Pac got hurt, and Chris Jericho yelled at Charles Robinson to stop the match, that's what I'm talking about, guys.
Yep. Well, Vito, we can't top that. That was a great main event. I might want to get some of these clips online, so on Twitter, because you were on fire tonight. So anything else you would like to add before we go home?
What was there? There was something else that happened. What else happened during the week?
Vito always pulls out some news that I forget. So if you can't remember, I'm sure we'll talk about it next week. But if you remember, go. It's your time, man.
Nah, we're good.
Okay.
No, I will say that I am looking quite handsome today.
Always.
All
yeah,
right.
in the wintertime, it's starting to get cold again now. So I'm going to start trimming the old neck beard and letting it grow back out, Vito, because it's the cold months now. So
is it really chilly over there?
It got down to the 40s. I mean, we were 80 and then got down to half of that the next day.
I was 87 by the pool today. You can notice by my tan.
Yeah, I know.
I'm looking fabulous.
Me, Mr. Old Pale here up in the Northeast Ohio. But nonetheless, another great show, Vito. I always like talking sports and wrestling with you.
All right.
We're going to get this out. It's on Twitch now. It'll be on Anchor. Stay tuned, folks, to the BigVitoBrand.com, because we do Virtue and Vice brand of wrestling, Getting Color every week. But that's all I got, folks. You can follow Big Vito on Twitter at the Big Vito Brand. You can follow me at NoDQ_Virtue. Trust me, if you go on Twitter, you'll see everything. I promote Big Vito, No DQ. It's all there. So that's all we have this week. Another great episode. So for Big Vito LaGrasso, the former WCW Hardcore Champion, I am Virtue. We will see you next time. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye.
And cut.
That was excellent, Vito. Awesome. That I like this format. It flowed like I felt.